According to this tree, which species is most closely related to trays unknown? Hit pause until you know the answer. If you said the genus Hymenopellis, you are correct. We can't say for sure which species it is because tray is about equally related to the Limnospora, Megalospora, Incognita, Radica, and Orientalis. How about mics? Which species is Mike's sample most closely related to? Go and hit pause until you know the answer. If you said the genus Pluteus, you would be correct. We can't say for sure whether it's more closely related to Cervinus or Petacetus, but it's got to be one of those two, according to this tree. How about Jessica's sample? Which species is most closely related to hers? Hit pause until you know the answer. All right. If you said Pluteus ongoi, you would be correct. She is very closely related to just that species. Everything in that clade is just that single species. And how about Louisa's sample? Go ahead and hit pause until you know the answer. If you said Grifola frondosa, you would be correct because that is the only species in that clade and she is very closely related to that clade. So according to this neighbor joining tree, which species is most closely related to Mike's unknown? Go ahead and hit pause until you know the answer. If you said the genus Pluteus, you'd be correct. We can't say the species for sure. And that's because if you look at Mike's sample, it's sort of an outgroup to the Pluteus petacetus and Pluteus cervinus clade, and it's equally related to each of those different species. In addition, the next closest related sort of sister clade is the one with Jessica's sample in it that has all Pluteus ongoi. And so once again, it's a member of the genus Pluteus, just a different species. So Mike's sample is almost certainly a member of the genus Pluteus, but we can't say for sure which species it is. Next, let's look at Trey's sample. According to this tree, which species is most closely related to trays unknown? Go ahead and pause until you think you know the answer. All right, if you said the genus Hymenopellis, you would be correct. We can't say for sure which species Trey's sample is, but we can say that it's very closely related to different species, all members of the genus Hymenopellis, whether it's Orientalis, Radicata, Limnospora, or Megalospora, or Incognita. Trey is certainly within a clade that's only has members of that genus, and almost certainly a member of that genus as well. How about Jessica's sample? According to this tree, which species is most closely related to Jessica's unknown? Go ahead and hit pause until you think you know the answer. All right, if you said Pluteus ongoi, you would be correct. Jessica's sample is more closely related to Pluteus ongoi samples than another sample of the same species even is. And so because she's sort of contained within this clade that only has members of that species and no other species, we can be pretty confident that her sample is the same species. How about Louisa's sample? So Louisa's sample is down towards the bottom. Go ahead and pause until you know the answer. All right, if you said Grifola frondosa, you would be correct. Same story as Jessica's sample. Everything in that clade with Louisa's sample is in the same species, Grifola frondosa, and in fact, Louisa's sample is more closely related to a Grifola frondosa sequence than another known sequence of the same species, or two other known sequences of the same species are. So we can feel pretty confident that Louisa's sample probably is that species, Grifola frondosa.